Okay, hello and welcome to value-based prospecting on today's presentation. What is value-based prospecting? What does it really mean in our industry, which we are in? And this is really direct sales network marketing, also going into referral marketing. Value-based prospecting, very, very important. Unfortunately, a lot of people do not understand how to approach people, and or if they do it wrong, and especially of course beginners, they still have not learned the skills, or they do very much going to sales, the sales approach, which I really don't like, and I never have done myself, because I did learn, I was fortunate enough to learn it a different way. Now, value-based prospecting creates and sustains a reputation of honor, honesty, integrity, and respect. Very important, respect. Our commitment is really to have selling conversations, yes, with prospects that leave them feeling heard, so that actually you hear them out, that leave them feel honored and respected. And especially if they say no. Because we do get it often that, of course, that people say no, but does it really mean no? Well, very often it doesn't mean no. It may be just not the right time. And we are looking for those people where it is the right time, right now. We call it like they're at 12. When you look at the clock, so they're at 12. They hit the 12. And those are, it is the right timing, but not everybody is, obviously. So people don't really care how much you know about, of course, the opportunity and the products until they know how much you care about them. And how do we make prospects want us? How do we make that they actually want what we have? Well, how do prospects feel about their lives? Find that out first and foremost. Most of them, they're frustrated. They quickly, tire of the routine of waking up and going to work and going to sleep and repeat. They're tired of that. They're fed up, spending hours and hours in the traffic, commuting to their works. So you got to find out what this is, what really gets them fed up where they are in life. They're desperately looking for somebody with a plan. And who do you think that's going to be? Well, that person with a plan, it's us. Somebody who knows where they are going, and that is us. We're supposed to be that person, if we're approaching them for business, that we know where we're going. So ask yourself, do you really know where you're going? Well, I certainly know where I'm going. And this is where skills we do have to work on. If we don't really know where we're going with Swissquote Global, or where we're going with our life, or what we want to have, how am we going to deliver that to the prospect? Well, we can't. So, and most important, of course, most importantly, somebody who has the skills to take the prospects with them. And that one, yes, this last bit could be actually the problem. The skills, the skill set. I just had a Facebook message earlier on, and asked me, basically about the company and how she could get quick rich. Well, I said, well, unfortunately, I can't really show you how to get quick rich, because I have never discovered anything where you can get quick rich, which is an honorable system. So you got to put in skills. You got to learn the skills. You got to put in work, and there is just no freebie. I'm sorry to say, Unfortunately, prospects, they judge our skill very, very quickly. They judge our skill levels very quickly. In the first 20 seconds, actually, they decide, you've got to understand that, they decide if they feel confident in our abilities or not. What we do so in our first 20 seconds, well, it should be very professional. Think of it this way. Prospects are looking for a guide to take them from where they are now, in that misery, in that stuck in the traffic, not being able to see their children grow up. So they're stuck in that, and they're looking for a guide to take them from where they are now to where they want to be. So what do we have to find out? Where they want to be, right? So would they feel confident in us as their guide? They don't want to fail in their journey. Makes sense, right? So when we are new to the business, well, we are really anxious to get new people onto our team. We are really very anxious about that, right? And so we are very nervous. And prospects, they can smell desperation. They really can. And they can also smell incompetency. So they smell when you don't know. And this is why experienced leaders, they can just enroll new distributors more easily. They just look confident. Now, where do you think where I was, of course, when I started? I wasn't confident, right? Of course not. Um, I mean, nobody is. So that takes practice and practice and practice and refining your skills. Of course, you have all those promises in the internet and over the internet, and they tell you, well, get quick rich, or do this and set up an automated system and automation and automation and automation. Well, yeah, but at the end of the day, our business is a relationship business. So I build a relationship with that person. Um, and that's what people need to understand. So what is one way that we can increase our confidence even while we are new? What is one way? Well, by having unlimited prospects. When we don't care really if any individual prospect joins or not, we are more attractive to all prospects. People want what they can't have. And I do often hear people saying, well, if this guy joins my team, if that girl joins my team, if just, well, I'm sorry, they are not going to build it either. They may will, but you know what? They may not. So you need to have, of course, constant flow of new prospects coming into you. Well, how do you get them? Well, there are many, many ways, and we will teach the different ways when you keep, of course, listening to the trainings we do. All the different ways and the more newer ways and the old approaches and the very new approaches in our trainings. But again, people want what they can't have. Think about that. Tell 3 children that they cannot go in a certain room. Well, what room do they want to desperately go? Of course, they want to go where they're not allowed, right? So when we have more prospects to talk to, we won't look desperate while we talk to any individual prospect, right? Because we know we have another 100,000 behind them, right? So make our prospecting list bigger and prospects will be more attractive to us. Learning and not doing, of course, is the same as not learning at all. With that said, so instead of just taking notes, which maybe you guys are doing now, I hope you do, because it is important to take notes, we have to put our new skills in practice. So it doesn't help you if I gave you, of course, all the skill set, and I gave you all the inviting scripts, and I gave you all the pointers and the eye catchers and which I do frequently post in our groups. It doesn't really help you if you don't put it at praxis. You know, you really need to go out and put those phrases straight away in practice. Learn, see what the response is. And the response to that is. That is really, really important, because learning and not doing really is like not learning at all. Okay? But what do we do when you don't have time to build relationships? I get often asked that question. Well, Claudia, I don't have all the time like you have. Well, when we meet someone new, we don't have days or months to build those relationships. I mean, makes sense, right? So how do we present our opportunity? How do we do that? Well, first of all, let's look at the don'ts. Don't start with all the neat benefits of your opportunity, right? Don't tell the prospects about the wonderful bonus checks and the trips and the cars and the incredible products, the company founder's background, whatsoever. Instead, Again, remember that people buy things for what? To solve a problem. They buy things to solve a problem. Could Swissquote Global help them get more money on a daily basis? Could Swissquote Global help them? I think so, yes, right? Could Swissquote Global help them, our opportunity, to get them more free time? I believe so, because when they start making money, uh, well, and when their money gets increased and increased, well, they may soon be able to quit their second or third part-time job. And maybe they can even eventually quit their full-time job, right? Because they're going to get more time, because they're going to get more money. So let's position our presentation to solve a problem for our prospect. What can our business solve for them, right? What can it really solve? So talk about how our opportunity will make it easier for the prospects to take more time off for work, for example. How our opportunity will make it easier for them to pay bills with that extra check every month. Or how our opportunity will provide the money for the car of the spouse. You see? Men, think about that. How can you make your spouse more happy? Providing her maybe a new car or maybe some new clothes, whatever she likes, right? So prospects don't care how great our opportunity is. They simply care about their problems. That's what you really have to work on. That's the shortcut when we do not have time to build relationships. Okay? And network marketing is a lot easier when we know what to say and what to do. So rule number one is don't be addicted to everyone signing up. Forget it. Really, don't be addicted to that. Many of them are not supposed to. You see? Rule number two, stop begging. Don't beg. I get everyday messages in my inbox begging. I mean, stop it. Beggars are not attractive. Rule number three, well, there are 4 aces in every card. I always said, if you play cards, 52 cards, 4 aces, you're looking for those 4 aces. You're not looking for the other people. You're looking for those 4 aces. What does it mean when many people say no? Well, very simple. It means your approach could use some work. What that means is you need to talk to more people. Why? Because you need to get better, and you got to get trained better. You got to play with it. You got to get better on talking with people, and you can only do that by improving your skill set, right? That needs training. So your approach could use work, and you are that much closer, of course, to yes. Rule number 4, well, be generous with your listening. I see it over and over. People just don't listen. You see, they just don't listen to you. I really like that in Vietnam. People are so friendly, even though they may not understand you. Well, often they don't. But they always care for you. It's amazing. I mean, the other day I went to a restaurant here. I like to go to special vegetarian place because they cook really good, and it's very clean. That's a hard one to find here. But hey, they just gave me, just out of the blue, they said, I have a present for you. And they gave me like a bra, like a bikini type. I mean, really? Yes. This evening we went to go to eat something, and we got a present after that. Or again, like we got some more food, and we got some more fruit. We didn't even order it, but they just gave it to us as a gesture. The other day we were in another restaurant, and they gave us cookies, homemade cookies for each and everybody, a whole bag of cookies. So they may, this is also a kind of listening. They look what we like, and they see, and they look, we like to, eat some sweets at the end. So that maybe they don't understand the language we are talking very much, which they don't, but they listen, even though through, of course, observing us. And that's what we have to become. We have to become great observers in people. So give your prospects the interest, respect, and acknowledgement that they demand. Listen to them versus expecting them to listen to you. Why should they listen to you, right? Be the most interesting person that they have ever met. Be that person, that most interesting person that they have ever met. And rule number 5, be curious about people, period. Be curious about people. What is most important to them? What do they like? What do they dislike? What is missing in their life? And it's so easy, as you know, I always teach people, it's so easy to make contacts when you go, I mean, if you're, like, say, out and about, it's just so easy. I start often with making a compliment. I say, oh wow, I like your shoe, it's very nice. Or it's so easy to do a conversation starter. I mean, you know, people like compliments. They love compliments, don't they? So this is easily how you can strike a conversation with people. Again, this is most important. You need to find out what is most important to them. And rule number 6, you got to uncover the problem. So when you find out what is most important to them and you uncover the problem, so why are they trapped in this situation? Why is it they didn't change yet anything about that, where they are at in life? So uncovering the problem, learn what they like, they dislike about it, where they live, where they work, learn about their special interests, their family, what is missing in their ability to support their family and interests. Why is that the case? Find that out. And rule number 7, you got to take baby steps. So, of course, you know, you want to have it all now. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. It's not going to happen. I could dump all the information onto you now. So what? It's just a piece of information. You got to go out there, you got to learn the skills, you got to practice, you got to get better, learn a few more skills, get practice, learn a few more skills. I mean, that's just the way it is. Imagine nowadays, of course, the children, you know, their mobile phones, well, or whatever they have already. I mean, 2 years of age. I mean, I see them even 1 year of age. I see them already. They know more stuff like I sometimes to do, like playing. I mean, I don't play games whatsoever, but they already know. But they are all the time on those mobile phones, all the time, and looking something up. Okay, well, how does, and all the time learning more, improving. So, well, why? Because they want to get better of that. Well, so why is it that we think we join network marketing, we join any program, and we think we're going to get rich tomorrow, and we think, well, we're going to learn those skills very quick. Well, we don't. You see, and it's going to take time. That's just a rule of thumb. But then again, as I said in my presentation the other day, I said, well, if you do this business, even it's part-time, it really doesn't matter. But if you do it consistently, and you consistently work this business in 4 years, you know, you basically build, if you build it right, you can retire, because it's going to give you passive income for lifetime. But if you think you can shorten this time frame to 3 months, I'm not sure if I can really help you so much. I can show you stuff, but you really have to immerse yourself into it. I've seen people reduce it to 1 year, you know, but they really, I mean, non-stop put themselves into it. But it's just simply going to take some time. So this is rule number 7. Tell them you're convinced you can solve the problem, and ask if they would be willing to just take a look at the solution. That is what we have to move on in the next step. So basically, when we talk to people, when we find out their needs and wants, when we find out their likes and dislikes, well, we got to tell them that you're convinced you can solve the problem, and ask them if they would be willing to just take a look at the solution you may have for them. I always say you may have, I may have, okay? Never though insinuate or leave it to interpretation that they need to decide to join, okay? They don't need to decide to join. Just ask them to look. And rule number 8, present with passion. If you're not passionate about it, you might well forget it. You got to be passionate about it. You see, I'm at 2 a.m. Well, it's after 2 a.m. now. I'm here. I'm passionate about it. I like it. Why? Because I love it. It's really nice to teach people and to help people so they, can get rid of their job they don't like, that they can see their children growing up. You see? So it is your positive, your convicted, confident, enthusiastic and proud, candid, honorable, honest and authentic energy that actually sells. Not so much what you say, but it's how you say it. You see? And rule number 9, ask them to act now. If you believe that the solution we have to their problem, well, if you believe that you have that, well, ask them to act now, because procrastination is the number 1 killer of all accomplishment. So how could you do that? Well, you could say, Lisa, I know a way you could do that. Would that interest you enough to take a look? You see, you just basically reframe it. Would that interest you enough to take a look? You didn't say Swissquote Global. You didn't say network marketing. You didn't say all those stuff. You didn't. You just said, I know a way you could do that. Would that interest you enough to take a look? Or, I'm involved in something that I know could resolve that for you. Would that interest you enough to take a look? Again, very, very simple. You found out the problem. You have a solution. And you now, of course, make the approach. I'm involved in something that I know could resolve that for you. Would that interest you enough to take a look? Okay. Or another one, you know what, Ken? You would be really excellent in this program I'm involved with. The income you would earn would resolve that problem of yours. Of course, you need to tell the problem, which they have. So you reconfirm the problem. The income you would earn would resolve that issue not being able to pay for the extra holiday with your family, for example, right? Would it interest you enough to take a look? Or another example, I know a way that you could earn the extra income to handle that. And again, you may find, that person is always short of their bills. Why? Well, because they have to pay all this, that. Maybe they got a mortgage they have to pay off, and they're really struggling. So they need to have this second part-time job or third part-time job or first part-time job, whatever, to make that extra dollars a month. If you know that and you did find that out, well, you can say, I know a way that you could earn that extra income to handle that $500 a month. Would that interest you enough to take a look? That's all what you do. It's not complicated. Always refer to business as a program or as something. Do not call it necessarily an opportunity or a business. And be confident and speak with conviction about the program, about the program's ability to solve their problem. And rule number 10, if they say no, well, very simple. Just let them go. It's not their time. They may come back to you, maintain the relationship, if you like to, but really rule number 10, if they say no, let them go. Very simple. After you ask them, well, why not? And after you ask them for a referral, you don't want any distributors at the end of the day. You have to really think about that, who don't want to be distributors. If you have distributors who actually don't want to be distributors, that's going to be a pain. So you don't want any distributors who don't want to be distributors after all. Asking for referral, that is in our industry, it's called leapfrogging. So we're going to go touch on that subject, onto asking referrals. How do we ask to get referrals on another of our trainings in, of course, our training part with Swissquote Global. So with that, I actually am at the end of the presentation. I don't want to make it so long, but of course in our posts and in our groups, I'm always putting for you guys in new approaches and tips on approaching people, and as well as closing skills and so on. But by next presentation, in the next week, we want to do a presentation about getting started right. So how do you get started your first person in that business? How do you get them started? Because when you get somebody started into the business, well, what that really means for you, somehow you take on a leadership role. So you take on a leadership role, that means you're taking on a responsibility. That person joins you because he liked you, he trusts you, and so on, right? So you actually take on a leadership responsibility. It means you need to show him, you need to guide him how to get started. That's what we touch on next week's presentation. And with that, I'll say now, of course, goodbye to you. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you're going to re-listen to our trainings and to our recording. Thank you so much.